Edding, outer rim of the Terran defense perimeter. Aboard the crippled battleship Thunder of Mars. Main characters: Captain Jack Stone, Commander Anna Blake, Chief Engineer Pete Morgan, Admiral Voss, Enemy Fleet Commander. The story opens with the human battleship Thunder of Mars drifting powerless in space, its hull scarred by enemy fire and internal systems failing. Captain Jack Stone stands on the damaged bridge, watching enemy ships surround his vessel like vultures circling prey. The ship that once struck fear into alien hearts now appears to be nothing more than a floating tomb. The Thunder of Mars had been humanity's most feared warship for 15 years, single-handedly turning the tide in dozens of battles against the Nexus Coalition. But 3 hours ago, during what should have been a routine patrol, the ship fell into an elaborate trap. Superior enemy numbers and coordinated attacks overwhelmed even the legendary vessel's defenses. Admiral Voss of the Nexus Coalition observes the crippled human ship from his flagship bridge, savoring his greatest victory. The Thunder of Mars had destroyed over 200 Coalition vessels during the war, earning a reputation that made enemy captains flee rather than fight. Now it floats helpless, its weapons silent and its engines dead. Commander Anna Blake reports the ship's status to Captain Stone with grim efficiency. Main power is offline, weapons systems are destroyed, life support is running on backup power that will last maybe 6 hours. The warp drive is completely fried, and communication systems can barely reach beyond their immediate vicinity. By all appearances, they are defeated. Chief Engineer Pete Morgan works frantically in the engine room, surrounded by sparking consoles and damaged machinery. His team struggles to repair critical systems, but the damage appears overwhelming. Coolant leaks, power conduits are severed, and the main reactor shows dangerous instability. The ship seems to be dying around them. The Coalition forces maintain their encirclement, but make no move to finish off the Thunder of Mars. Admiral Voss wants to savor this moment. The destruction of humanity's most feared vessel will demoralize human forces throughout the sector. He broadcasts surrender demands, offering the crew a chance to survive if they abandon their ship immediately. Captain Stone listens to the surrender ultimatum with apparent resignation. His responses to Admiral Voss seem to confirm that the legendary human warrior has finally accepted defeat. The captain's voice carries exhaustion and despair as he asks for time to consider the terms. Appearing to be a broken man facing inevitable capture, the Coalition crews begin celebrating their historic victory. Defeating the Thunder of Mars is considered impossible by most military analysts, and the ship's destruction will shift the balance of power in the entire sector. Enemy officers toast their success and begin planning victory parades on their home worlds. But in the depths of the Thunder of Mars, something doesn't match the surface appearance. Chief Morgan's repair teams work with unusual focus and coordination, following procedures that seem oddly rehearsed. Their desperate repair efforts follow patterns that suggest preparation rather than improvisation. Captain Stone's private conversations with his senior staff reveal subtle details that contradict the image of defeat. His orders are precise and confident, lacking the uncertainty expected from a commander facing destruction. Commander Blake's status reports contain coded references that suggest hidden information. The enemy ships gradually relax their formation, confident that the crippled human vessel poses no threat. Some Coalition captains begin discussing salvage rights and prize money. The fearsome reputation of the Thunder of Mars makes its capture a career-defining achievement. For whoever claims the honor. Admiral Voss grows impatient with Captain Stone's delays and issues a final ultimatum: surrender within 1 hour or face complete annihilation. The Admiral's confidence is absolute. He commands 12 heavy cruisers against a single disabled battleship. Victory is mathematically certain. In the ship's secured command center, Captain Stone reviews tactical displays that show information not available to his enemies. His conversations with Chief Morgan contain technical discussions about systems that supposedly don't exist on the Thunder of Mars. Their planning suggests capabilities that contradict the ship's apparent helpless condition. The part ends with Captain Stone making his final transmission to Admiral Voss, appearing to accept surrender terms while requesting permission to evacuate his crew. His words seem to confirm the Coalition's victory, but something in his tone suggests that the legendary captain of the Thunder of Mars might have one last surprise for enemies who celebrated too early. The Coalition fleet prepares to accept the surrender of their greatest enemy, unaware that they're about to learn why the Thunder of Mars became legendary in the first place, and why humans never fight fair when survival is at stake. Focus. Unveiling the ship's true nature and capabilities. Captain Stone's surrender transmission cuts off abruptly, and the Thunder of Mars suddenly goes completely dark. All external lights shut down, power signatures disappear, and the ship appears to have lost all remaining life support. Admiral Voss initially assumes this is system failure, but his sensors detect something impossible. The ship's mass is changing. Chief Engineer Morgan's desperate repairs were actually activating hidden systems that had been installed during the ship's last refit. The Thunder of Mars isn't just a battleship. It's a prototype weapons platform disguised as a conventional warship. The apparent damage to its hull begins retracting, revealing that much of the battle scarring was actually retractable armor plating. The ship's true nature becomes apparent as sections of its hull slide apart to reveal weapon systems that don't exist in any known database. The Coalition forces watch in growing alarm as the crippled battleship transforms before their eyes, sprouting additional gun turrets, missile pods, and energy projectors that were hidden beneath false hull plating. Commander Blake coordinates the revelation from the ship's true command center, a heavily shielded facility deep within the vessel that had been completely hidden from enemy scans. The bridge where Captain Stone appeared to command the ship was actually a decoy, designed to fool enemy intelligence about the vessel's real capabilities and command structure. Admiral Voss realizes he's been completely deceived, but his initial panic gives way to calculated confidence. Even with hidden weapons, the Thunder of Mars faces 12-1 odds against modern Coalition heavy cruisers. He orders his fleet to open fire immediately, before the human ship can complete whatever transformation it's undergoing. The Coalition bombardment strikes the Thunder of Mars with devastating force. Energy beams and kinetic projectiles hammering its hull with enough firepower to destroy a small moon. But instead of penetrating the ship's armor, the attacks seem to be absorbed and redirected. The vessel's hull glows with accumulated energy that pulses in complex patterns. Chief Morgan reveals the ship's greatest secret: adaptive metamaterial armor that doesn't just resist damage, but actually feeds on incoming energy. Every laser blast, every particle beam, every kinetic impact is converted into power for the ship's hidden weapon systems. The Coalition attack is actually charging the Thunder of Mars for counterattack. The transformation completes with the emergence of the ship's primary weapon, a massive energy cannon that extends from what appeared to be damaged section of the hull. The weapon system is unlike anything in known galactic arsenals, humming with power accumulated from the enemy bombardment. Captain Stone's voice returns to communications, no longer sounding defeated. Captain Stone explains to the shocked Admiral Voss that the Thunder of Mars was never just a battleship. It's Earth's first implementation of adaptive warfare technology, systems designed to turn enemy advantages against them. The ship's reputation wasn't built on conventional firepower, but on its ability to appear vulnerable while setting elaborate traps. Hidden weapon systems begin targeting the Coalition fleet with precision that should be impossible at such close range. The Thunder of Mars doesn't just fire conventional weapons. It projects energy fields that interfere with enemy systems, launches nanobotic swarms that begin disabling coalition ships from within, and deploys gravitational distortion weapons that crush enemy hulls. Admiral Voss attempts to order fleet withdrawal, but discovers that his ship's navigation systems have been compromised. During the hours they spent surrounding the helpless human vessel, microscopic infiltration devices were deployed that have been slowly taking control of coalition computer systems. The trap was more elaborate than mere weapon concealment. The coalition forces find themselves unable to maneuver effectively as their own systems turn against them. Ships collide as navigation fails. Weapons fire at random as targeting computers malfunction, and communication breaks down as networks become flooded with corrupted data. The thunder of Mars has turned the entire enemy fleet into a self-destructing chaos. Focus, galactic reaction, and the strategic implications. Captain Stone's message broadcasts across coalition space with unprecedented clarity, somehow bypassing all communication security and reaching every military commander, government official, and fleet admiral simultaneously. The thunder of Mars demonstrates communication technology as advanced as its weapons, making its message impossible to suppress or ignore. The recording shows the complete destruction of Admiral Voss's fleet in real time, with detailed analysis of how human technology countered every coalition tactic. Military experts across the galaxy watch in stunned silence as their most advanced warships are reduced to helpless hulks by a single human vessel using principles they cannot understand. Coalition High Command convenes emergency sessions as reports flood in from across their territory. The implications extend far beyond one lost fleet. If humans possess this level of technological superiority, every previous military assessment becomes obsolete. Strategic plans developed over decades become worthless overnight. Other alien powers monitoring coalition communications begin re-evaluating their own relationships with humanity. The Stellar Republic, previously neutral in the human coalition conflict, immediately begins drafting non-aggression treaties. The Void Empire, which had been considering joining the anti-human alliance, suddenly discovers urgent domestic issues requiring their full attention. Chief Morgan receives communications from Earth, confirming that the demonstration achieved its intended effect. Human colonies throughout the sector report that coalition raids have ceased completely, and several enemy outposts are requesting permission to surrender peacefully. The Thunder of Mars battle has shifted the balance of power without requiring a full-scale war. Admiral Voss, now a prisoner aboard the Thunder of Mars, is treated with surprising courtesy by his human captors. Captain Stone explains that the Admiral's survival is intentional. He needs to return to coalition space and report exactly what he witnessed. Fear spreads faster through personal testimony than through recorded transmissions. Coalition government faces impossible choices as panic spreads through their military hierarchy. Engaging humanity in conventional warfare now appears suicidal, but backing down publicly would destroy their credibility with allied species. Coalition leaders discover that their own success in expanding through intimidation has made retreat politically impossible. Commander Blake monitors Galactic communication networks as the story of the Thunder of Mars spreads beyond official channels. Independent news services, merchant communications, and diplomatic dispatches carry increasingly exaggerated accounts of human technological capabilities. Reality becomes less important than perception as fear takes on a life of its own. Human diplomatic missions throughout the galaxy report dramatic changes in alien behavior. Species that had been hostile or dismissive now approach with careful respect. Trade negotiations that had been stalled for months suddenly conclude in humanity's favor. The demonstration of technological superiority translates directly into diplomatic advantage. The Thunder of Mars begins its journey back to human space, but its route takes it through several coalition systems. Captain Stone's orders from Earth Command are simple: be visible, be peaceful, but demonstrate that human ships can travel anywhere they choose, regardless of alien objections. The voyage becomes a diplomatic mission, backed by overwhelming force. Coalition fleet commanders face an impossible tactical problem as the Thunder of Mars approaches their space. Engaging the ship would likely result in their destruction, but allowing it free passage looks like submission. Several Coalition admirals request reassignment rather than face a vessel. That has become legendary overnight. The ship's passage through Coalition territory becomes a carefully orchestrated demonstration of human technological superiority. At each system, the Thunder of Mars showcases different capabilities, advanced scanning that penetrates all defenses, communication systems that override local networks, and propulsion technology that allows impossible maneuvers. Captain Stone broadcasts goodwill messages to civilian populations while systematically cataloging Coalition military installations. The dual nature of the mission diplomatic courtesy combined with military intelligence gathering demonstrates that humans can operate according to civilized norms while maintaining absolute tactical advantage. Coalition intelligence services attempt to analyze the Thunder of Mars using long-range sensors, but discover that their most advanced detection systems cannot penetrate the ship's defenses. The vessel reveals only what its crew chooses to show, maintaining technological secrets while demonstrating enough capability to discourage aggression. Admiral Voss, scheduled for release at the Coalition border, receives detailed briefings about human technological capabilities from Captain Stone. The information is intentionally overwhelming enough truth to ensure credible reporting, but filtered to create maximum psychological impact without revealing operational details. Part ends with Coalition High Command receiving Admiral Voss's preliminary report about human technological capabilities. The document's conclusions are stark. The Coalition cannot win a war against humanity using conventional tactics. The aliens who thought they were conquering primitive humans have discovered they were actually provoking the most technologically advanced species in the galaxy. Focus, long-term consequences, and humanity's new position. Admiral Voss's complete debriefing sends shockwaves through Coalition leadership that extend far beyond military circles. His detailed testimony about human technological capabilities forces a complete reassessment of galactic power structures. Species that had dismissed humanity as upstart primitives now face the reality that Earth represents the most advanced civilization they have encountered. The Coalition High Council convenes an emergency session to address what intelligence analysts are calling the human problem. Traditional military doctrine assumes technological parity between major powers, but the Thunder of Mars demonstration proves that humans operate with capabilities decades beyond Coalition understanding. War becomes impossible when victory is mathematically excluded. Captain Stone returns to Earth as a hero, but his mission extends beyond single combat victories. Fleet Admiral Hayes debriefs him on the broader strategic implications of the demonstration. The Thunder of Mars was designed not just to win battles, but to reshape galactic politics through the calculated application of overwhelming technological superiority. Other human ships begin revealing advanced capabilities previously kept hidden from alien observation. The merchant vessel Prosperity demonstrates faster-than-light communication across galactic distances. The exploration ship Horizon Walker phases through solid matter to survey planetary interiors. The diplomatic transport Peacekeeper projects defensive fields that make it completely invulnerable to conventional weapons. Coalition member species begin independent negotiations with human representatives, abandoning collective resistance in favor of individual survival. The bird-like Skyborne Confederation offers exclusive mining rights in exchange for non-aggression guarantees. The aquatic Deep Sweller Empire proposes technological exchanges that heavily favor human interests. Chief Morgan leads teams of human engineers as they begin retrofitting captured coalition vessels with Earth technology. The ship's original crews, released as promised, carry stories of human technical capabilities that spread through alien military networks faster than official communications. Fear becomes a weapon more effective than any physical armament. The Thunder of Mars becomes the flagship of a new class of human vessels designed for diplomatic enforcement. These ships combine overwhelming military capability with advanced peaceful technologies, allowing humanity to negotiate from positions of absolute strength while maintaining the option of devastating force if required. Commander Lake coordinates Earth's intelligence networks as they reveal the true extent of human infiltration into alien societies. Communication systems throughout Coalition space contain human monitoring devices installed during routine maintenance operations. Military computers run software containing hidden human backdoors. Even private civilian networks carry surveillance capabilities that feed information back to Earth. The galactic economy responds to humanity's technological revelation with dramatic shifts in trade patterns. Alien currencies lose value against human credits as species recognize Earth's manufacturing superiority. Human consumer goods become luxury items sought throughout the galaxy, while alien products lose market share to superior human alternatives. Coalition military academies begin studying human tactical innovations, but discover that understanding the principles requires technological capabilities they don't possess. Human warfare doctrine cannot be copied because it relies on adaptive systems, biological computers, and metamaterial construction that remain beyond alien technical capacity. Asterisk. Captain Stone accepts command of Earth's new galactic diplomatic fleet, a force designed to project human influence throughout known space. His orders are clear: establish humanity as the dominant galactic power, not through conquest, but through demonstrated superiority that makes resistance pointless. The fleet carries enough firepower to destroy entire star systems, but its primary weapons are technological advancement and economic leverage. The coalition formally requests peace negotiations, but from a position of acknowledged inferiority rather than equal strength. Human diplomatic terms reflect their overwhelming advantage: complete freedom of movement for human ships, preferred trading status in all markets, and access to alien research facilities for collaborative technology development. Admiral Voss, released as promised, becomes an unexpected advocate for peace between humanity and coalition forces. His first-hand experience aboard the Thunder of Mars convinces him that conventional military resistance against humans would result in coalition annihilation. His influence helps moderate hardline factions that still advocate for anti-human military action. The story concludes with Captain Stone standing on the bridge of the Thunder of Mars as it leads a fleet of human vessels on a diplomatic tour of former enemy territory. Alien populations gather to witness the ships that have become legendary, while their governments compete to offer favorable agreements with Earth's representatives. Final scene shows young human children aboard colony ships heading toward previously contested territories, now made safe by their species' technological supremacy. Captain Stone's voice narrates the closing thoughts. Enemies who celebrated too early learned that humans never reveal their full capabilities until survival requires it. The galaxy relaxed when they thought humanity was defeated, but Earth's children were just getting started. The new galactic order is simple. Species that respect human interests prosper under Earth's technological advancement, while those that choose hostility face capabilities they cannot match, counter, or comprehend.